What is up, you guys? You're watching Sergio's Secret, and I post a video every single day for Vlogmas, so make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. We are at 37,000 subscribers. Estoy muy contento, and hopefully we can reach 40 by the end of the year. So yeah, there is a lot of great sale links right now. A lot of designer sales are having their sales. Like there's a really big Burberry sale, there's a really big Saint Laurent sale, so I'll leave all the links right down below. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Today's video is going to be designer handbags that I sold in 2020. Now, I think I've sold quite a bit and I bought in a lot, but I would say I did sell 10 bags that are designer. I think I sold a few more, but I just kind of want to talk about these 10 bags. So let's go ahead and get started because there are quite a bit of bags. So my style consistently evolves and consistently changes, especially because I'm 20, I'm a little bit younger, kind of still finding the identity within my style. I think I really started to nail it down these last couple of months, but a lot of these handbag purchases were from last year, beginning of the year, that I sold kind of mid-year. So there is quite a bit of handbags. I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions on any of these bags that I sold. I did pretty much break even with all the bags. I didn't really lose any money. I'm really happy with even, which is really great because I was able to use all that money for other purchases. So I purchased a Chanel 19 handbag. I purchased 2 Bottega Veneta handbags, and I really love those and I like those a lot in my collection. So, you know, whenever I sell something, instead of putting it in towards clothes or something else, I like to invest it right into SLGs or to handbags because I feel like that's kind of my handbag category. So the first one is going to be kind of the Gucci Ophilia crossbody. Now there's one bag that I wish I would have held on to longer. Honestly, la mera verdad, it would be this one. The reason why I got rid of it is the monogram in general. You guys already know this, but I'm just not really a big monogram person, and sometimes I would want to wear other items, and I feel like the GG monogram with all the other things kind of clash a little bit too much. Carrying this as a clutch, the strap was not removable, but it was still attached, but I like the look of the strap just kind of hanging down below. As a shoulder bag, it was not long enough to be a crossbody. Normally I do carry my handbags shoulder bag or like a clutch type style, but I wish it was just like 2 or 3 more inches, poquito más larger. I would have kept it as a crossbody, and then I would have just gave it to my mom. But my mom's a big crossbody, or she's a big person, so for me a little bit, I like the bag, but I felt like much rather have something else in my collection. I liked it, but I didn't really truly love it, so I got rid of it. I mean, I think it's a really beautiful handbag, Gucci monogram, and I feel like the next piece that I do buy, that's a monogram piece, is probably going to be the Dionysus bag. My apologies, I always kind of nice bag. I recommend it. It's a good bag. It's a really good bag, but it just wasn't for me. This one is going to be the Dior saddle bag. You guys already know I made a video on kind of the worst designer purchases I made this year about it, so I'll leave that video link down below. At the end of the day, I got this bag pre-loved from Fashion File, and then I ended up selling them to them, and I got what I paid for back. I know they have kind of like that 25% less. I just took it in with a few other things, and they just happened to give me what I paid for. So I mean, I used the bag and I didn't take a loss, which was actually really great. I feel like the Dior saddle bag, when I bought it during C19, like right in the beginning, so I feel like it was a really good price. I sold it right towards the end of summer. The issue for me with the bag is I wish I would have gotten the all black one, because at the time there was one that was all black for like $100 more, and if I would have had the all black and gold or the black on black, I would still be here today diciéndote, oh, aquí tengo mi Dior saddle bag. Pero I just feel like the oblique's not me. I like the book tote. That's the only monogram bag I have in my collection. The main reason why is in the side where it says Christian Dior, like the CD. The way you put the strap on it, when you would wear it, when I would take the bag off and put it in my car, set it down in the passenger seat, the clasp and the CD would just kind of like hit each other, and then the CD started having very light tarnishing on it where the gold was coming off, and it was kind of like a rose goldy color, like a brassy color. It really bothered me a lot, and I was like, I don't really feel like wearing this anymore. I was a little over it. I wish I would have gotten the all leather one, and I wish I probably wouldn't have bought the strap. I think if I even buy the strap, I feel like I would still have the bag right now. Maybe not a forever bag in my rotation, but that's the reason why I ended up selling my Dior saddle bag, because I know I get asked that quite a lot. What happened to your saddle bag, Sergio? I thought you loved it. I love that bag, but the thing is, once it started tarnishing, I was like, it's just gonna keep on getting worse. So right now, while it still looks decent, I might as well go ahead and just sell it, and that's exactly what I did. The next one is one that I just recently sold, probably like 2 weeks ago. It is going to be the Saint Laurent kind of envelope bag with the black leather. Now, I've had this bag for about 2 years. I got this one for an incredible deal. To be honest, I don't really reach for this bag as before. I have other bags that are kind of flap style that I use a little bit more. So my Chanel bags I use more, and I don't really use my Saint Laurent one. And I also find that the drop length on it looks very low, and I'm about 5'11", and it looks very low the way the strap drops. And it looks proportionally, it just doesn't look good. It's a little bit too boxy. If the strap was just a little bit shorter, even by 3 inches, and I feel like I would have still kept the bag, but I just don't like the drop length. It just didn't look good on me. I really wouldn't carry it as kind of a double bag, like with the both of the straps on like this, and it kind of hits right here. I didn't wear it like that, so I would use it more as a shoulder bag and crossbody, but I had the strap drop. And I also, to be honest, I was talking to my friends about when I wanted to sell it, and they all told me the same things, like, Sergio, I haven't seen you reach for that bag in forever. I said, I see you reach for all your other bags, but I feel like that's the one you don't really use a lot. I feel like if you want to get rid of something, get rid of that. This is every couple of months. I don't really like to have too many items. I like to have a very edited collection in general. Just I get to use a lot of the items. Now, somebody's version of edited can be like 3 bags. It's probably like 30, but everything has its purpose. But I don't like to go over like a super exaggerated amount. Just had to go. And in the beginning I was like, I was contemplating, and then once I sold it, I don't even think about the bag anymore. I like the bag, it served its purpose, but it's not a really me bag anymore. I feel like that was a very like Sergio bag 2 years ago, a year ago. 2020 and 2021 Sergio is not really my style, so I ended up getting rid of it. This one comes at no surprise, which are going to be the 2 bags, the Louis Vuitton multi pochette that I bought in London, and then I also sold the mini Sapla. I think I've already said this before. I buy Louis Vuitton just so I can say I have a Louis Vuitton bag, and just trying to force myself to like it. I don't care for Louis Vuitton at all, like at all. So I just got rid of them. I didn't lose any money. I just broke even. I'm super happy. I don't really even think about the bags anymore. It served its purpose. I would say the multi pochette is a pretty nice bag if you are looking for a Louis Vuitton bag, but it's just not for me. It's just I prefer the Prada nylon a lot better, and I use that one a lot more. I had 2 bags that were very similar, so I'd rather choose the Prada over the Louis Vuitton one. Sapla, I just bought it because I was able to get my hands on it. I used it for a little bit. I took it to LA with me, but when I came back I was like, no, this one's leaving my collection. Next bag is going to be this red Celine bag. I don't know the exact name of it. It is like quilting, and it is square quilting around it. It had the C kind of newer clasp, a newer Celine style, and it had a chain on it. And I like this bag in the color red. I feel like I was missing a red bag. I didn't have a red bag, so when I saw this one I was like, oh, this one's a really pretty bag. I liked it. I got it sourced from one of my sales associates. It was $3,300 retail. I paid $500 for it, so I was like, oh my god, I saved like almost $3,000 with tax. I'm gonna love this bag. It's gonna be great. Amigas, y lo compré. And I did use the bag. I mean, I did like the pop of color of red, but then also C19 happened, and I didn't really get to wear it a lot. Just found the realization of why I didn't really care for the bag was probably 2 things. The first one was the strap on it. I used to not really be picky on straps before, but now I'm very particular in what I kind of like and don't like. The strap on the bag, I just don't like the little leather piece on it. Because it only had it on one side, so I wish it would have had, where it said a piece Celine, I wish it had them on both, so I feel like it would look a lot more prettier, a lot more proportional, but it only had it on one, so it kind of looked a little weird, and that kind of bothered me. I didn't really care for that. Like the Saint Laurent envelope bag had both of the straps of leather, but the Celine one only had one. I also didn't really care for the chain on it. I feel like the chain wasn't perfect for the bag. And then I would say those 2 are my complaints. The leather held up really well, the color was beautiful, and everything about the bag I did like, but I just didn't care for the strap. Although I ended up getting rid of it, I really haven't thought about it ever since. Yeah, that's what happened with that one. And then I also bought this one at the same time. It is a silver Celine. I think I've never actually worn it. I did haul it, but I've never wore it. So I ended up giving it to Kimberly. So she currently has that bag, and she really likes the silver bag. Kimberly's my best friend, and so she has a bag. She really likes it. She gets a lot of wear out of it, but I don't even think I used, maybe I used the bag one time, and that was a $2,900 bag. And same thing, I got it for like $400 or $500. They were doing like a Celine sample sale, and so I ended up getting both of those for really great prices, but unfortunately they just didn't work for me, and so I ended up getting rid of. This bag is going to be this Burberry tote, this humongous Burberry tote. It as a beach bag, but honestly I don't really even go to the pool or like even enough to carry that much on a daily basis. I feel like I have the Saint Laurent big toe, and when I bought the Saint Laurent one, I still have the Burberry, so I was like, one has to go. Like I can't keep both of you and then the book toe, because that's 3 big designer totes. I was like, one has to go. I don't really use the Burberry one a lot. I know it's a newer Burberry, I know it's a big toe. It's a pretty big size bag, but that even me like at 5'11" and like 170 pounds, that I really didn't look proportionally right. It would move around and then there would be no zipper or anything. So I just felt like it was my time. I already had the bag, so I decided to get rid of it, and I really haven't thought much of it. Bags are going to be from Balenciaga. You guys already know that how I feel about Balenciaga. I feel like Balenciaga is very juvenile and I don't really care for it, and I currently only have one item now left from Balenciaga. I got rid of the bags, the wallet, the shirt that I had, and now I have some sock shoes. So I probably will be selling those on my vlog sale. So I ended up having, I'm gonna show you both of the Balenciaga bags. So the first one was this black toe. I bought it around this time last year. I really like the bag. I think it's a pretty decent bag, but the thing is, I just would only reach for it at the gym. Then I saw the wear that it was getting just for me using it as a gym bag for like a month, and then I just ended up not using it. And so my mom used it for a little bit. She liked it, but she was like, no, like it's too simple for me. Like I want to go back to my Tory Burch handbag. My mom cracks me up. Like her brand ever is Tory Burch. Every Christmas, every birthday, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, my mom gets Tory Burch. Always. Like there hasn't been a holiday where she hasn't gotten Tory Burch. So she used it for a little bit, and then so I was like, I don't really care for it, so I sold it. I mean, it was a nice bag, but it just really wasn't me, and I didn't really use it quite a lot other than that gym purpose. But then I went to using my Dagny Dover carry-on bag, which I use a lot more because I substituted that one for the gym bag, and I love that bag, and its neoprene holds up pretty decent. And then I also had this Balenciaga fanny pack. I took it to me, I bought it right before I went to London, and I used it in London, and then I used it a little bit when I got here. States, I liked the bag. It was a really good fanny pack, but the thing is, they wouldn't reach for it because I also had my Dagny Dover fanny pack, which I still have and I really like. I was like, 2 fanny packs, which one do I use more? Do I use my Dagny or Balenciaga? I use my Dagny Dover one, and I prefer the Dagny Dover one, so I sold it. I mean, it was a really nice fanny pack, but it just wasn't for me anymore. Like I said, I think that Balenciaga phase really phased out for me, and now I don't really think twice about Balenciaga. I thought about adding a city bag. I feel like that's something I would have, but I would definitely get a vintage style, like something from Fashion File, but not something that's current, like 2020 or 2021. 3 more bags, guys. So the next one is going to be the Saint Laurent Lulu, and está en el color como rosita. I'll put the picture right here. I'm like, where should I move? I had this bag. I loved it. I think I did buy it like maybe 3 weeks before I went to London, so I bought it right like in January, and I like the bag, but I just really wouldn't use that color a lot. I love the pink with the silver. A lot of pink bags always are with champagne gold hardware, and I don't really like the combination, so I saw it with silver and pink. I thought it was the perfect combination, and I bought it. I liked it, just never get worn. It would look really nice right here in a shelf, but it didn't really get a lot of wear at the end of the day, so I sold it in a vlog sale, and I really haven't looked back on the bag. This one is going to be the Gucci Marmont in the velvet. Same thing. I bought this in January. Yeah, I bought this in January. So like I said, a lot of these back January of this year. So Gucci Marmont, bought it, I used it, I spilled food in it, and so the velvet stained, and I tried to get it to get clean, but anywhere where you go here in Dallas or just anywhere in general, velvet is just such a hard material to work with. That's why I don't have any velvet items in my collection. No clothes, no shoes, nothing. It's just because it's such a delicate fabric, and that's why Gucci, like Chanel, and all these other brands that did like the bags got discontinued just because they would not wear over time. They're really pretty bags, but they're just not longevity, especially if you want to use them on a daily basis. So I just sold the bag. I was like, I spilled food in it. I don't really like the way it looks now. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over Gucci Marmont, so I sold it. So I'm back since I sold that bag. And then La Última que vendí, guys, which is gonna be the most shocking one, and the one that I had one of the most emotional attachments with, and it is the Givenchy mini Antigona. I told the story of how I bought this at Nordstrom Rack, how I really wanted the bag, and I just had gotten paid from Chick-fil-A when I worked there when I was 16 to Nordstrom Rack, and it was right there waiting for me in the case. It was right there, guys. And I remember I saw it with love at first sight, and I cashed out my check, and I bought the bag, and I also had a gift card for like $100. So I bought the bag and I used it, and I loved it so much. I used it all through high school and then a little bit after that. But then the Antigona in the medium size, and I have two bags that are very similar, a mini one and a large one. Which one would I rather keep? I use my large one a lot more. I find a lot more value in that. And the small one, especially like this year, I only used it one time, and then last year I probably used it a handful of times. So I'm saying, well, this is just a bag that's gonna stay here on the shelf. I'd rather just kind of get rid of it and buy something else in my collection, something that I would use. Rid of the Antigona. I don't have emotional attachment to a lot of items, but that one just meant and represented so much. But I feel like that was a chapter that needed to be closed, and I think that was one of the last pieces. And so I sold it, and whoever has it now, I wish you nothing but luck. That bag had brought me a lot of luck and a lot of love and a lot of compassion. So rid of it. At the end of the day, it's a materialistic item, guys. Like, I learned this year that, you know, this perfume, these shoes, all this is materialistic items. Like, at the end of the day, I know people say that you can't take it with you, so I like to enjoy the items that I do have moment, or you know, just to have in my wardrobe. But I don't really like to have a lot of things where it's just kind of laying around collecting dust. Those are going to be handbags that I sold, and why I feel like my style has changed. If there's any bags that I feel like I wish I would have had more time with, is probably the Gucci Ophilia, which is the first one. But everything else I felt like needed to leave my collection, and I actually have no regrets. I really don't have regrets in selling items. Like I said, I'm not too emotionally invested in a lot of realistic possessions. I think the only things that I really have emotional attachment with is certain jewelry piece and my laptop. Probably everything else, and probably photographs from when I was a child. But everything else, like, you know, it's replaceable. You can get it back. So that's how I kind of see it as. And so, guys, those are gonna be designer handbags that I bought and I sold. So I would love to hear designer bags that you sold, and what was your reasoning, and why did you sell it? Why did it work out for you? Why did it not work out for you? Did you have something similar, or did you end up buying something else with the item? Was the size wrong? Your opinions down below, because even I still make mistakes where I feel like, oh, like I would have gotten certain size or certain this, just because you know, fashion always changes. There's new things coming out, so you live and you learn, and keep it moving. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, muchísimas gracias por viendo mi video. Ya sabes que yo los quiero demasiado, los quiero mucho. Los mando un abrazo, and yeah, guys, I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Thank you so much. All the links and everything that I talked about today will be linked down below, and bless up. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.